Hello Ram fans and welcome back. I am your sports anchor Sydney Wicker, and it was an exciting weekend in CSU sports. So without further delay, let's break down the action. The number 25 ranked CSU women's volleyball team did not start off the weekend ideally how they wanted when they lost on Friday to number 12 ranked Illinois in a 5-set game. Saturday was a different story for the team where they swept the University of North Carolina Wilmington in a 3-game set. The Rams are still ranked number 25 in the AVCA poll this week, and the Rams are currently at Greeley where they are taking on the UNC Bears, and they are in their first set of the game where the current score is 5-3 where the Rams are down. With basketball still a few months away, the hunt for a new recruit is always ongoing for Nico Medved. Last night, point guard Isaiah Stevens from Allen, Texas announced that he was going to commit to CSU for the 2019 season. Stevens helped lead his team to the 6A Texas State Championship basketball game this past season. Stevens had offers from schools like Mississippi State, Air Force, and Weber State, to name a few. Stevens was in Fort Collins this weekend and tweeted yesterday, "First, I would like to thank God for the opportunity. Then I would like to announce my commitment to Colorado State University." Stevens will likely be in CSU uniform for the 2019 season under Nico Medved. The CSU football team started off their season taking on Hawaii this weekend. The Rams' new offense was struggling in the beginning to make collective passes and to run the ball effectively. But the second half brought a new Rams offense. The transfer QB KJ Carter-Samuels broke the CSU record for passing yards in a game where he threw 537 yards. The game was also highlighted by wide receivers Preston Williams and Olabisi Johnson. Williams had a high of 188 receiving yards and Johnson had a high of 157 receiving yards. Despite the second half taking a turn for the Rams, CSU still lost 34-43. After the game, KJ Carter-Samuels spoke on the loss.
We definitely need a lot of confidence. You know, we showed a lot of fight at the end. I mean, we did a lot of good things offensively at the end of the game. I thought we were going to win. Seriously, I legitimately 100% thought we were going to win if we got the ball back with a little bit more time and they didn't kick a field goal. So I'm excited. I mean, this is really a true test. This is when we're going to see what kind of team we are. If we're going to, lay down and just kind of get run over the rest of the season, or if we're going to step up, get to work, and go back on Monday and start working for this next week, because this is CU. This is CU week, and it's a big statement. And, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter anymore. This game's gone. We have to forget about it and on to the next. So I'm excited about what we can do. I think we can do really good things, and we showed that tonight. We just need to be more consistent.
I am now joined by Rams Report writer and CSU student Justin Michael to talk about CSU and the big Rocky Mountain Showdown. So Justin, we got lots to talk about here just going off the first game from Saturday, but what are your expectations for this game coming up on Friday?
Yeah, this is definitely a prove it type game for CSU football. They came out and got punched in the mouth a little bit by a Hawaii team who, frankly, I think we all overlooked. CU is going to be a team who defensively, probably going to be one of the better opponents that CSU has to face this season. They have a ton of speed at the linebacker position, ton of size on the defensive line. This is going to be a really tough matchup for CSU. It
definitely is going to be a tough matchup, and I know in our pregame stand-up we talked about how CSU we thought was going to take the ball and kind of after they get a feel for running around a little bit, they'd kind of adjust to KJ's style and how he ran the ball, but that's not something we really saw until the second half. So I think having this one-game experience will help the Rams a little bit, especially since Boulder hasn't had a game yet, but I'm not sure. I think since we overlooked Hawaii, we're definitely going to we can't have the hugest expectations for Boulder.
You know, that's a great point. The other day after practice, head coach Mike Bobo explained that historically he feels that CSU plays CU a little bit stronger when it comes after the first game of the season, so when they have a chance to play somebody else. Last year they played Oregon State, ended up losing by 14 to CU in a game that's still debated today, mostly because of the officiating. But it's a game, like KJ said, you have to put last week behind you and you have to recover.
Yes, I think we all can remember the CSU-CU game last year, and I think the refs took their side a little bit, but that's a different story if we want to debate that. But I definitely think having a rivalry game, that sets CSU up in a mindset, you should always go into the game thinking this is a big game. We need to give it our all every single week. But I think having a little bit of game experience, kind of getting a feel for KJ and how he wants to run the offense, and not having Mike Bobo there to kind of direct the team a little bit since we had to have Letson calling the game. I think that's going to be a lot different to see how this game runs. And Bobo said he's not sure if he's going to be at the game on the sidelines or not for Friday. So I think that'll definitely have a big shift in it. But I don't know. I think when it's a rivalry game, the intensity is always higher. I think about other rivalry games and how they're always played at a different level. And they're loved, and there's so much passion from fans for a rivalry game for a reason. So I think that'll definitely have a big effect on the game on Friday.
Yeah, after practice today, Bobo did confirm that it will be Letson again calling plays this weekend. So that, another wrinkle into the mix as far as a always interesting game anyways on the field. But Bobo's 0-3 against CU in his career. There's no understating the hype going into this game.
Yes.
After you lost, to a Hawaii team when you're favored by 17, the fans are already uneasy. You lose to Boulder, considering you have Florida and Arkansas coming up in the non-conference schedule, you're looking down the barrel of 0-4, and that's tough to come back from, even in the Mountain West.
That is definitely really hard to come back from. But we'll have to see what CSU can bring and if they're going to be able to come out with a win here. But I think CSU could definitely surprise some people. I think the way that we saw KJ really come out and shift in the second half was there's a lot of momentum there. So I'm really excited to see what he brings. But the defense is really going to have to bring in because CU will definitely run over the CSU offense otherwise.
The tackling has to be better. There's no other way to put it. When you consistently miss tackles the way CSU did against Hawaii, it sets you up for failures at all three levels of the defense. When the defensive line can't bring down the quarterback in the backfield, it brings the linebackers and the safeties out of position. You got receivers running downfield. CU's got a quarterback in Montez who loves to run around. He has a huge arm. They don't bring him down, they're going to get into a lot of trouble.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. And I like hard football. I like when we're seeing the tackles, and I like a rough game. I like the intensity. So we'll have to see what comes out of that. But before we wrap up here, what is your predictions for the game? What are you going to call the score if you could pick right now? Who's your favor?
There's so many factors going into this game. You could see it really going, a variety of different ways. Right now, CSU fans probably aren't going to love this. If I were a betting man, I would probably put my money on CU somewhere along the lines of 30-14, maybe 30-17. I think you'll see a much more competitive effort from CSU than you saw last week. But this is a talented CU team, and quite frankly, I think CSU's inexperience is going to hurt them in this matchup.
Nice, yeah. I'm definitely kind of thinking CU might take the favor here, but I think it's going to be a closer game than what people expect. The Rams will take on rival CU on Friday at 7:30 in the evening. That is all I have for you tonight, Rams, but to stay updated on CSU sports throughout the week, make sure you follow the CTV Twitter page at @sports_CTV. And stay tuned for Justin with entertainment.